Hey guys, welcome to Occultists Anonymous, episode 35, The Long One. That's the title. No, it probably won't be. But yeah, this is a special episode of Occultists Anonymous. We're going to run a little bit longer than normal because after this is done, it won't matter to you because you're just watching this on YouTube, but we're going to do a stream test ahead of our first stream on Discord, or Twitch. This is Discord. We're going to be streaming on Twitch.
Join us tomorrow night.
And I'm absolutely paranoid about tech problems, so that'll just be next week. So instead, you just get a super long episode today on Thursday, because Friday we're going to live stream that night, so you can actually watch this now, get caught up, and when you show up to watch us stream live, you'll actually be caught up. You will know exactly what is going on. There will be no waiting behind. So cool. And if you're watching this like a long time ago, and we've been playing on and on, then just ignore all this. But hey,
I'm just going to interject here and say that if anyone does know what's going on, please tell us, because we don't know.
There have been surprisingly few people who have messaged or commented about what they think they know what is going on, which is absolutely terrific. Though I guess, to be fair, they only saw today.
Yeah, they haven't seen the second part.
Yeah, so we'll see some more stuff. Though I will give a shout out to who was it? Naughty Ninja Princess. Shoot, I gotta find him, because I mean I'll give a shout out where it's due. Posted in the comments and said, "I bet they're possessing." Yes, the seer was possessing Alma. I've got to give this shout out because they called it like
immediately. Yeah,
it was pretty quick. Yeah, yes, Princess Naughty Ninja. I was right. So anyways, we are of course now sponsored by Roll20. Hi, thanks guys. That's because we like Roll20. It's really a cool tool, and that's how we, from different places in North America, not just the US, but North America. I've been training myself, Craig. I won't let you down. Are able to play together online. So it's really cool. We appreciate that. And then, of course, from viewers like you, our patrons, Ryan, Brendan, James, Perry, Josh, Thomas, Schmitty, Claire, Michael, Danny, Noba, and Kat. Thank you guys so much for your financial support. We appreciate it. Special shout out. Hi, Josh. Thanks. He just pledged like 2 hours ago.
An hour ago,
yeah. You guys let us do cool stuff like buy upgrades and buy software and buy books. Like I picked up Shunned by the Moon, so I have werewolf enemies and stuff like that, which is little late. So I mean, werewolves will just show up again later, right? That'll be fine.
Refuse.
No, we've done that. We're done. Check mark.
Yeah, we did the whole werewolf.
We did all the werewolves.
You said we're not going to get any more A beats by studying them, so fuck werewolves now.
Phrasing. When we last left off, we were in a couple different places. But I want to do a quick step back here to Craig, Wyrd. So talk to me about what, because when we last left off, Wyrd had been passed out on the couch in Songbird's apartment.
Right.
What had Wyrd been up to the day before?
She's deeply conflicted, and she's not really sure what she's doing and why she's doing it. And there's a lot of competing goals and aspirations in her head, and it's just like she taking her soul stone and setting up a domain in the bar was like ridiculously foolish. I mean, she had reasons for doing it that way, but like after it was all done, she's like, "Why did I even do that?" And
cross some Guardian lines there too, possibly.
Yeah, and she's got some conflicts about the Guardians as well, and conflicts between Path and what she wants to do. And
well, if you've got so many conflicts, have I got the order for you?
So cool, yeah, because we didn't really have a chance to really talk about what Wyrd had been up to. So basically, she'd been walking the street and just kind of letting fate kind of guide her, and just kind of came up with phrasing, and just basically didn't really come up with anything. Nothing really clicked.
No.
Cool.
And couldn't really tried to sleep, and as soon as she lied down, her brain starts spinning, and it's like there's a war going on mentally, and she just figured she might as well go up and wander around until she got exhausted.
Gotcha. And so yeah, when we last left, even after mom friend Atratus had tried to make Wyrd go to sleep,
She
snuck out, and yeah, was that a finger waggle?
Yes.
I saw? So okay, yeah. So we're gonna jump in with Wyrd basically waking up on the couch. A little while later, at this point, the sounds of conversation from Atratus's room has kind of died off and gone quiet. And that's kind of where we kind of pick up is whatever was going on in there. There were the sounds of Atratus's voice kind of muffled and Songbird's voice. I guess the female version of Songbird's voice. And then another very weird kind of melodic, tinny metallic voice that was very odd. I didn't say it. Yeah, and so that's where we pick up. I don't know if you guys are coming out, if Wyrd is going to, go knock on the door and see what's up, but...
No, I'm not going to. They're in Atratus's room. I'm not going to disturb them. Guess I'm going to go rummage around in the kitchen and see if I can get something to eat.
Cool.
It's been a couple days.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
'Cause you ate... Remember, you
Priorities,
ate...
right?
Get a sandwich
Sleep
before
first.
the meeting.
Yeah,
I
have
had a sandwich
sandwich
before the meeting. Yeah, and I haven't had anything since, so I'm going to see if I can rummage around, find something to eat.
I'm sure Songbird has a decently stocked
There's
kitchen.
food.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, protein shakes.
Yeah. Ooh.
So yeah, so over in Atratus's room, you guys had summoned up an entity that you guys decided to call Hephaestus, and said, "Okay, yeah, we'll totally summon you in Atratus's soul to kind of give us a hand," and then said bye-bye, let it dissipate, and that's kind of where you guys are at. As I guess you might hear sounds of the kitchen fridge opening, cabinets, and stuff like that. Somebody else is in the house.
Okay, so it's like 8:00 at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go soul exploring now, or do you want to sleep on it and do it tomorrow?
It's your journey.
It's more that I don't know how long this will take.
I was in my soul for what felt like a long time. And I awoke minutes later.
Okay.
I don't think time is the same there.
All right. Do you want to do this then?
Sure. Do you... Wyrd. Sounds like she may be back.
Sure.
Should we make sure she's like not a zombie or something?
Yeah, probably. So yeah, let's go check on.
All right. Like pop out. Wyrd, is that you?
Go to bed.
Slept for hours. You guys were busy.
Or that'd take like 8 hours, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should still.
You got any booze in here, Songbird?
Absolutely.
You know that to be true.
Is it all just wine, or is there hard stuff too?
I'm sure there's liquor.
Okay.
Something happened?
Yeah. You.
So come
All
back
right.
into the kitchen with like a big sandwich and a large glass of straight alcohol.
Oh, jeez.
Jack Daniels, if you got it. Otherwise, it'll be scotch.
Yeah.
And sit down on the couch. So what's going on with Mammon? There was a big emergency, I thought, so I rushed back here, and then
His memories might have been tampered with,
okay,
so that's fun.
where is he?
That's
I think he's still at the Mysterium. They had
at the
him.
Athenaeum.
Yeah, at the Athenaeum being
Safe.
watched.
Okay, and we thought this might be Graves.
I don't know who it is.
Perfect timing.
All right.
Yeah, did they tell us a person? No,
And
yeah, they just
didn't-
told us his.
The message was basically round up the
He's safe,
call.
don't worry.
Yeah, it's not a big thing to freak out, but maybe get everybody behind a sanctum so that technically, because technically the seers, so long as they're following the Lex Magica, the Pentacle also follows the Lex Magica, but when the seers cross it, then the Pentacle feels like they're in the right to actually aggressively do something.
So as long as
to
we're
defend themselves.
here, they're not allowed to like spy on us with one of the creepy mummies.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know anything about that
No,
character, so
well,
Yeah,
They're
no.
not allowed to get caught spying on us with a creepy mummy.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is actually that whichever direction Craig is at. So that is the last thing you guys had heard.
So yeah, he's at the Athenaeum. I guess they're trying to help him figure out what's real and what's not. And we've been told to batten down.
lay low.
Well, I don't want to be. No offense, Songbird. It's a lovely place and everything, but I don't want to be cooped up in here forever.
Well,
I mean,
funny you should say that.
yeah. Do you
We
wanna?
were just thinking of going exploring.
Oh yeah.
It's an emergency. You guys should stay put. Let's go exploring.
No, we're
Where
not
do I
going.
explore?
We're not physically going anywhere. We just summoned up
Apeiron?
Apeiron.
Apeiron.
Yeah, so I could ask it what was wrong with my matter spells. Turns out my soul's broken. So
Time out.
Time out.
Wait a fucking minute. Something's wrong with your matter spells?
yeah, they've
You're
been
so-
difficult, and like Songbird pulled up the imago of one when I was casting, and it was like broken.
And so you summon a supreme being and it's telling you your soul is broken.
There's either too much or not enough of it.
So we're going on a trip to fix it.
Is this something you may have done to yourself, or did somebody do this to you?
Don't know. But something's wrong. So
Have you told anyone else?
I found out like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, because... Okay. Soul fuckery is like serious shit. Like this is like Call the Guardians level kind of shit.
I know what
Not
the
that I'm
Guardian-
suggesting that we do that, but... So what are you planning on doing now?
I was going to go
Take a look.
inside my soul the way Songbird did, yeah, and go look around.
And you've done that before, right, Songbird?
He's done it. It went fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
and in terms of like knowledge that you guys have, going into your own soul while a potentially spooky and traumatic thing is a fairly safe thing to do, because
It also is you at your most powerful.
yes, and you know the worst that can happen is if you are hurt by the native Goetia. All that happens is your dream health is damaged and you get kicked out.
You wake
and-
up. Yeah.
and your body is fine. The only issue is if somebody else is in your soul messing with it actively, and so you have an opposing mage coming in and wrecking shit. That is going to be a problem. So
I would know if there was someone in my soul, though, right?
Not necessarily.
nope.
Okay, well,
That's where you get into stuff like some mind magic might do that. Some death magic might do that. Kind of inspecting a soul.
Anyways, I'm for it.
do you want to
Okay.
come along?
Do you want me in there?
I mean, I don't know what's in there.
Three's coming.
Yeah, okay. I'll come.
Sure.
Cool. So we'll pause that as you guys settle and kind of get comfortable in Atratus's room to kind of meditate. And because you guys are going to be using her soul stone, it'll be a direct, easy path directly to her soul So that's handy. And we cut over to Mammon sitting across from Hiza at a small diner down in the financial district, and both of them have their active mage sight turned on, and beyond the weird world that Mastigos see, yes, of twisting shapes and people as a conglomeration of imps and demons clinging on that represent all their thoughts and feelings and emotions and vices. There is this floating mummified eye creature floating on 6 wings of smoke. And Hiza goes, yeah, we're being spied on. That's a problem.
I concur.
Okay. And Hiza kind of looks around, quite a number of people here. He says, I can't teleport us right now, because that's going to cause another problem. So let's get out of here.
Okay.
So he quickly slaps down, a tip on the table, grabs his jacket kind of thing, and, hurries out the door. Kind of making sure that you're coming along with him. If you're leaving your active mage sight up, you can watch as this thing just it's not like a zombie slow thing. It moves pretty quick, and those big wings of smoke, very Balrog-esque. You're just beating and just moving across through, and it is a full-size person thing. So this is not a small thing that is floating about, and it's following you very horror movie-esque. And he's is, as soon as he gets outside, basically takes to a quick jog and is eyes looking, trying to find an alleyway, someplace that is safe from prying eyes. Yeah.
Okay. Do we find it?
Yeah. I was just giving you a moment to interject. But yeah, he ducks around the corner and looks, and for a moment there's nothing in either direction. He's got a moment of peace, so to speak, and he motions you over, grabs hold, and says, hang on. And let me see here. Quick math. He's not using high speech. Actually, he's not even going to take any extra time, so he's just going to use the shadow name. So,
how strong is his shadow name?
Shoot, does he need... What was that?
So how strong is his shadow name?
He's got a pretty established
pretty good
sense of self. I just realized, I was I'm about to cast teleport. I can't remember what all goes into that. I don't think you need extra potency. Nope. Okay, cool. And, does he need a connection to you? No, he doesn't, because it's just casting on you. Okay, cool. And at least as far as Hiza casting teleport, it literally just looks like the whole world just kind of bends away and to just a void of darkness, and then as it kind of bends back, you're suddenly standing in Hiza's office where that circle of flour had been. It's still there, I guess, till somebody comes to vacuum it up. And he, just no sense of movement, just suddenly one room and then the next. And he kind of lets you go, and he kind of gives you a look up and down. He goes, what did you do? No. Way back when, before you were awakened, you were a bank you robbed banks.
Right.
What banks did you rob?
Usually the kind with money.
But no huge ones, no
secret Nazi safety deposit boxes. Nothing.
because that's a Grigori. That is some twisted, fucked up sleepwalker that they've shoved into a cocoon, and they are now forever separated from their soul. That thing is just going to follow you. It will probably arrive here soon because it can flipping teleport to wherever you are because it has a connection to you now that it can maintain.
Where are we at?
You're in the Athenaeum in his office.
It's not warded?
I mean, but it can keep trying. Like, it may take...
Oh,
yeah,
I got you.
yeah, it won't necessarily just be here. But yeah, so we're here now. We have a decent ward, but if it wants to, it can keep trying to get here. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know how much mana the damn thing has, and that's if you don't have Mr. Graves sitting next to it channeling more mana into it. Why do they want you?
I'm not sure. I was wondering the same thing. I don't know if you guys are aware, but he had set up a meeting with my cabal where he talked about wanting to trade favors for information, but of course he didn't have any information we wanted, and besides, we wouldn't have traded with him anyways. But he didn't offer me anything, which I thought was weird because, I mean, let's be honest, I'm probably the most morally ambiguous of the bunch. I'm an easy mark, but I don't know. But then he was just waiting for me in my apartment, so I don't know if I'm just the lucky one or
the unlucky one. Sure,
or the unlucky one.
So wait, he knows your. So he knows your sympathetic name. He knows who you used to be.
Yeah, but that's not hard to find out.
Right, and that's how he found. Well, what about the company that you run now? That you went legit.
Right.
Have you fucked with anything? Have you
No, I mean it's been mostly small clients. Not even anything like a bank.
And you don't actually steal anything. You just get in.
No, we just get in, and then we take photos proving we're inside a sensitive area, and then that's it. That's all the contracts usually entail. So no, I mean, I've been running it by the books. I don't take anything unless the client specifically requests, try to get in and steal a laptop type of thing, but that's super rare.
And
no.
And he's just like pacing through the office and then, kind of sits down on the edge of the big desk. And he's like, I don't know, like, you don't think you pissed anybody off before as Todd.
Well, hang on, let me rephrase. I definitely pissed people off as Todd. I just don't know what would piss off a mage.
Right, but you were small time, right? It wasn't like you were knocking over huge metropolitan banks. It was targets of convenience. Right. And like you wouldn't have kept anything weird, right? Like you never knocked over a bunch of safety deposit boxes and like found what could have been like an artifact or something.
No, unless the artifact was something super mundane, like I mean, well, there were some guys in the crew that would keep like CDs, USB drives, things like that, because that's valuable blackmail material. But I never did, just because that's not my thing. The tech side isn't me.
But hang on, your crew, what about them? Like, I mean, how big of a crew? Because you said you had the new guy who may have been Beck. We that's inconclusive.
Humoring, right?
But then, so there were others. Like, how big of a crew did you have?
So, without going into too much detail, it was never really like a set in stone crew. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm going to call Jimmy up. It was basically a loosely connected organization, super informal structure. That way, if one person gets pinched, they don't really know anybody else that's in it. We used sigils and signs to know who was inducted into it. But otherwise, you may get a call from a guy you did a job with a year ago and say, hey, I got a job with the Order. We're gonna hit a bank tomorrow at noon.
The Order?
Well, is generic name. I'm not. Mama didn't raise no snitch.
Okay. Was there like some big shot calling plays?
No, nobody ran anything. It was like I said, it was loosely organized. To my knowledge, anyways, there was nobody at the top, and I had been in it for almost 7 years by the time I awakened.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's kind of late. It's like 4, 5-ish at this point. I kind of want to get home, so I need to think on this. I've got some books back at my sanctum. Yeah, let's get you settled in a place that's comfortable and not a lab, and we'll try and pick this up in the morning. Hopefully, Oceans has some stuff lined up, and maybe we can get some other Mastigos in here, because I don't know. This is, and the idea of an order that you worked with, even if you don't know that somebody was working at the top, like that's kind of, for all I know, it could have been a Mysterium thing that you guys were, well, no, you guys made your own deals, your own plans and stuff like that. You didn't have somebody dropping hints and stuff like that on
Yeah, exactly. There was no contact. There was no guy that we bought plans from. It was just people that knew each other, who knew someone, who knew someone, who knew someone, who knew someone, It, like I said, it was super loose and informal.
Okay.
By design. That way the whole structure can't topple if a couple people get grabbed.
Sure. Kind of classic sleeper cell kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's something. Okay. So he kind of, gathers some of his things off of his desk, and, cell phone slipped into his pocket, and he's like, okay, come on, and he takes you down through the Athenaeum, through the, library, which at this point there's still some folks there, some other mages, but takes you back towards, an area of like storage and stuff like that. It is the same place that you guys took oh my gosh,
yeah,
Titus.
Yeah. And so there's some, small, I almost call them cells, but they're more like, very monastery-esque. Like there's a bed, there's a table, there's a desk. There's not even like a sink or anything like that. There's a bathroom down the hall. It's not exactly a hotel room even, but it's a comfortable spot. The bed looks, it's a queen size bed. So it's, decently large, but it is not a place that you'd want to stay very long. Shanna, would have stayed in a place like this. Though I guess technically Mammon hasn't met Shanna. Anyways,
No.
But yeah, and so he's kind of opens the door and kind of motions. He's like, unless you've got a safer place with wards, this is probably the best place for you right now, because at this point you're clearly being watched. They're trying to manipulate you. The next step is they try to kidnap you.
Out of character. What location? Like, what room did you say we're in again?
It's like it's basically think like a really, really, really small barracks, like about 10 rooms that are just kind of tucked to the corner for like people who are coming in and visiting, like Atratus' friend Shanna, when she's done with a place and she's visited and dealt with whatever weird monstery cryptid thing, swing in, chill here for a day or two, and then go back out on a next mission. So it's just like a very small room.
It's like a hostel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the offer. Question though, you said that despite the fact that this is warded, I mean, given enough time, it can eventually just brute force itself through the ward.
It could potentially, yeah.
Wouldn't that be bad for the Athenaeum for it to be inside? Because then it's not just giving information about me; it's giving information about the building and its contents and inhabitants.
Yeah, that is a concern. I'm actually gonna go chat with some other folks who are here to make sure we're aware. And if I mean, it is my ward, so I will know when it makes an attempt. And I won't necessarily know if it gets through, but if it starts making attempts or something like that, I can call you and
yeah, but at that point it could be too late. Wouldn't it be a better idea to I don't know, teleport us to like a day's end or something and just throw a quick ward on the room? That way if it gets inside, whatever, it's just a day's end room.
it would be protected from a Grigori, but I mean, that doesn't keep Mr. Graves or Cynthia or any of them or just finding the location and knocking on the door, kicking the door open. So, I mean, it's your call.
You're not wrong, but I can't stay in here forever.
No.
And there is obviously something that they either want from me or want me specifically for. And Mr. Graves has not given me the impression that he takes no for an answer. He's going to continue to try until he gets what he wants. So the question then becomes, do I want to face him on my own terms, prepared to deal with him, or sit in here and wait and hope and potentially drag the organization down with me?
At the end of the day, it's your call. I think that our established wards here are enough to hold this thing off for a while. It's going to be a lucky chance if it gets through. But I mean, I get it. I mean, you're a Mastigos. We don't do well with boundaries. We don't do well with walls and cells and being confined. So, like, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure this is a little bit of torture for you, not making your own decisions. My suggestion, my recommendation, spend a night here, and tomorrow we'll have a bunch of folks come over. We'll teleport in a bunch of folks from around the caucus, and we'll have everybody kind of get together. We'll have a big brainstorming session. We'll see if we can figure something out. We'll poke around in what memories you're willing to show us. And
where's Oceans? I haven't seen her in a while.
As far as I know, she went to call up the rest of the caucus, and I mean, at this point, she's possibly headed home. We can call her and find out what she's up to.
Well, the reason I ask is I have been told that Mr. Graves. Now, you know what? I appreciate the offer, but I am going to. I think I'm going to head home.
Okay. Do you live far? I can come and put down a ward for you.
No, that's okay. I'll. It's not. It's out of the way, and it's not a big deal.
I mean, I'd say I disagree, but it's on you. Well, yeah, here, and pulls out his phone. Pulls up his number, and you basically just really quick exchange information. Call me if something weird is going on. That's
Ding.
If something happens, that's probably the best thing. You can at least let me know, especially if they try to just kick down the door to your apartment, which, I mean, he knows where it is. He can get in. So at least if you're there, maybe he won't show up with armed thugs. But yeah, just keep me informed.
Well, I mean, in his defense, he's been mostly polite up to this point. You know, polite for me.
Yeah. And
breaking into your house and like digging into your brain is just super polite.
Not exactly polite, but yeah.
Not exactly polite, but he didn't use force.
Right. Okay. Well, and he pulls his phone out, sends a quick text. Okay. Well, if nothing else, Shodell has your apartment listed as your sanctum.
Yes.
So
that is correct.
Fuck it. At this point, if they come by and they cause a ruckus, we'll bring it up. The Silver Ladder will love to yell and scream at them, and if they don't back down, then we try to apply some force and tell Mr. Graves to back the fuck off.
I appreciate it.
Okay. And you said it's out of your way. I mean, I teleport, but sure.
Yeah, but then my card be stuck here.
Oh, sure, right. Cars. Okay, well, and he reaches his hand out, shakes yours, and we'll figure this out. I promise, we'll get it figured out.
I'll be in contact tomorrow morning.
Okay. Good luck, buddy. And then just he's gone.
Okay.
And you head home?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the car and I'm gonna head home. I am going to I'm gonna dig one of my burners out of the glove compartment, and I am going to use the contact list on my actual phone to call Wyrd, because she has like an espionage background.
Mm-hmm.
So she, I feel, would be more receptive to buy crackpot conspiracy theories.
Cool. All right. So we jump over here to you guys. Here's my question, because at this point we have two parallel tracks going. Does Mammon get that call before or after you guys head into Atratus' soul?
I would before, right? They just said it was like 5 p.m. So
Okay.
she would have gotten the text or whatever while she was asleep
Yeah, I'd have been
and woke up to it.
no.
Yeah, probably
Just
not.
on the couch after 2 days awake. I'd
Yeah.
have slept right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. That's what I'm saying. You would wake up to the text
Yeah.
on your phone that you missed while you were sleeping.
If you guys want to do your soul searching, I would have no problem with it being retconned that like I got out after you guys.
We're already
finished,
in.
If you want to do your thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Because that basically lets us have an idea of what resources you guys might have. So, time to make a soul journey. All right. I
All right.
believe meditation is resolve plus composure.
Mhm.
I'm trying to find it again real quick. World of Magic. Fallen Worlds. Yes! I'm learning this book. We've only played for 35 episodes, and I'm starting to find stuff. Okay, cool. No, PDF, please. Scroll, please. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. And weird. The thing we summoned wants to come also. I was going to get my Damon's opinion on that before I start summoning a supernal entity into their
I think that's wise.
realm. But
do you guys want to go ahead and roll intelligence plus occult for what you know
to see
about?
if that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's like, hey, summoning a supernal being into my soul. A -2 on that, please, because this is a little bit esoteric.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
come on.
some weird knowledge.
Come on, my dude.
Hey,
This is
listen.
This is a chance die.
Weird knows. Songbird knows. I don't know shit.
Nope.
Songbird does not know because that's a chance
Oh.
die.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, Wyrd, you do know summoning a supernal entity. The very idea of summoning a supernal entity into your soul is not a bad thing. It is not immediately going to cause. Now, doing it into a sleeper soul, because
Yeah.
that super bad idea. But within an awakened soul, nothing is inherently bad for the supernal being. They still have that limited time before the fact that they are not in the supernal realm. Time is going to start ticking down, so that still happens. But it's not necessarily going to be a dangerous thing. That said, you are putting a unknown supernal being with power and stuff like that into a soul where they can work magic freely, air quote. Only the owner of a soul has free unlimited reach without paradox. Supernal beings follow the same rules that, in this particular case, Songbird and Wyrd would do, but it's still capable of casting spells and stuff like that.
Right.
So inherently, not necessarily a dangerous thing, other than you're bringing somebody in that you've known for a few minutes into your soul.
Yeah, I was going to ask the Daemon
So
if they were cool with it.
There's no inherent dangers, but it's a matter of how much you trust the supernal entity. Because if they have their own motivations or their own goals, they have a lot of power inside your soul to wreck with you. So if you got a good vibe for this guy, we can...
I mean, it didn't really seem to have much of a personality.
How eager did it seem to go into your soul?
It's the one that asked, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it asked to be let in.
It asked if it could
It
come
talked
along.
about how
Like, sort of curiously asked? Like,
very much so.
Yeah.
it wasn't like a, oh, take me in? Like,
No.
No, it was more of a, you are an interesting broken thing and we don't know how you work. It
Want
wants
to know how
see.
to fix you.
Yeah.
Don't know that fix ever came up, let's be clear.
Yeah, no one
Oh,
ever
yeah,
said anything about
fair.
fixing. It described me as a puppet with the strings cut that was still moving around.
Pretty little broken thing.
Which is super fun, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and
It
I love
wanted-
that you guys are basically having this conversation while you're sitting in a domain, which is a minor reflection of Atratus' soul. No big deal.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Sure.
I sit down and start like fucking yoga posing.
Cool. So there's no cost to
Should
this.
we laid down? Because when you Are you gonna,
Literally it's
collapse?
up to you. Because this is similar, and it's something I've been bad about pointing out. I kind of feel really bad because it happens to Mammon a lot. Is how the thing happens is kind of up to you guys. So like in the case of his like locate object, he could, as part of the spell, have a map laid out in front of him and go, there it is, instead of the normal like, oh, I just have a
It's all part of the imago.
right, exactly. So in this particular case, whatever you're meditating is, your body is still awake.
okay,
Right.
that's what I was worried about. I didn't know if my body was gonna like pass out
No.
and collapse. Okay, then yeah, we'll sit down and
Because you're
meditate.
technically meditating.
Hey, shout out to that willpower.
Willpower. Yep, cool.
Resolving composure too.
Yes. On a critical success, you go in a single turn.
Instantly.
Try again at a -1.
Weird.
Well, the problem is... Cool.
There you go.
Okay,
Burn to
so
willpower for that.
this is wonderful.
This is fun.
So
Yep.
You're in her soul before she is.
yes. So
Oh, cool. So you get a turn to run around and,
You get an hour.
yeah.
oh, have fun.
Actually, because we know what Songbird does when he enters his soul. He had that sinking down, shrinking into himself. What is it like for Atratus? Like, how does she travel? What is that kind of mental picture? Because they'd have others where like they literally step up out of their body and start walking, through a doorway that opens. They sink down. Others, go straight up Ant-Man. They shrink down below the atoms into the quantum realm that resolves to be their soul. Is there a particular way?
No, I like the astral projection view of it, just sort of
Stepping up out of your body.
stepping out of your body. Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Into
very morose too.
Yeah, it is. What about for Wyrd, who apparently goes, okay, we're gonna go. Vroom.
Yeah. So
Have fun.
for Wyrd, it's like walking through a thorny gate.
Sure, but is it the same kind of like out of body?
It's there's a gate. She rises up out of her body and opens up the gate, and then she's in.
Begins to walk. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I like it. So that way we don't delay this too much. Atratus and Songbird, basically, you guys find yourselves. Songbird kind of steps up and is suddenly in this place that feels familiar and very, very weird. Ding. For Atratus, this has a very homecoming feel of walking down, and suddenly you're there, and you find Wyrd. Wyrd, what does your armor, your amnion, look like? Actually, what do you appear like in as your soul? Do you
Astral
as
form.
yourself or?
So like really long pointy ears, and the hair is all kind of like in this big mane.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sort of floating around on its own kind of deal.
Cool.
And she's got like the Tinkerbell sort of leaf dress on with the short skirt.
Sure, right. And she's got the rapier.
Right. Yep, and she's got the rapier.
And when you
sort
armor
of like
up,
Tinkerbell and Peter Pan.
Peter Pan looking ass.
And so when you armor up, does it look like Peter Pan-esque, like Lost Boys put together armor, or is it?
No, it's like natural stuff, and it's all kind of thorny.
Druidy,
so like there's sort of druidy, yeah.
Gotcha.
But the thorns are a big factor.
And Songbird, you appear as your Valkyrie kind of self, or okay. Atratus, what is the soul self of Atratus?
She just looks like
herself?
her normal self. Yeah.
So yeah, you two show up, and you can look over and you see Songbird, and oh yeah, Songbird, sure. It's got a little bit extra, cosmetic armor. And then you look over across what in my head is this huge open, like the entry hall to like an enormous, like old school manor. So it's large, it's open, big sweeping stairs. It's like the ballroom almost from
Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you.
Or the Addams Family.
And to one side is Wyrd, who you guys recognize because it's still her face, but she's Tinkerbelled up, and she's got her armor.
An elf.
And
Are you small?
I'm pretty small to begin with, but I'm a little shorter.
Gotcha.
Probably 6 inches shorter.
Halfling sized.
Yeah.
Dwarf sized. And she is standing across from what appears to be another Atratus. This Atratus has her hair done like freshly, done up. There's something to it, some like almost rather than Atratus's like normal black hair, it's almost opalescent. It's got some like color, not like oily, but just there's some shine to it. And the same kind of, jacket and shirt combo that is very Atratus. And she has this enormous like Tommy gun pointed at Wyrd. And just it's very clearly there is a stalemate going on here. I'm pretty sure Wyrd probably hasn't drawn her weapon because she knows where she's at. She's like, I'm not an invader. I'm just and just like
I'm like, hands are up. I've been invited.
Yep.
And so I'm like 4.5 feet tall in here.
Right. And it's a very like stalemate situation. The Tommy gun is pointed, and as soon as you guys kind of step through the double door to the entry, like. Other Atratus.
I'm like, see?
Other Atratus doesn't even look up and goes, oh. So she really is allowed in.
Yeah, wasn't supposed to be here before me, but yeah, she's invited.
And the gun just disappears, just kind of dropped, and other Atratus looks over and goes, you just brought a whole damn party. Okay.
So,
Songbird.
Yeah, we were told stuff was strange in here, and I didn't want to, wade into it by myself.
Yeah, didn't want to come by yourself. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Do you think that's fucking strange? And so you've got this, the grand, ballroom, kind of entrance hall thing, and you've got doorways and hallways that lead to other places, and there's this big, like, jagged, wrecked, like, burnt house kind of section of a wall with a door that looks, twisted up and burnt and stuff like that. And there is a nice little, caution, we're mopping the floor sign in front of it, and little yellow police tape.
Technical difficulties.
And stuff like that. And it's just
little caution tape.
Yes. And it's just like, nope, and hang off. And she looks over and she's like, listen, I'm a badass in here. I can't fix this shit. You have to do this.
What
I like
happened
her.
here?
The fuck do you think happened? Something fucked with your soul. We have to live in this. It's a mess.
Yeah, the rest of it looks nice, though.
Absolutely. We have a badass soul, except for this. It's embarrassing. I can't have people over.
You have people over?
Metaphorically speaking, Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Can I have a look?
That's for
Yeah,
her to decide.
I want to go, scrutinize it, I guess. I want to go check out this, this thing.
Okay. And she go, whoa, hang on. We should just...
Mhm.
Okay. Are you actually ready for this? Because let's be honest, you haven't dealt with stuff very well.
I mean, no, but I gotta deal with it.
Okay, I dig this attitude. Yes, you have to deal with it. I appreciate that. Yes. All right, go team.
Are you coming?
I mean, I do an advisory role. I can't fix shit.
mine does the same thing. It's okay.
They just sort of hang around and give
They
you
talk a big game.
advice.
Yes, advice. Tell you what to do. Go do it. Yes.
And they push you through a skyscraper or some shit.
And legitimately, other Atratus walks over, and suddenly, mop shoved into Atratus's hand, bucket shoved into Songbird's arms. Go fix this shit. And kind of walks over with you, pulls down the tape, and immediately, Atratus, you feel like a wash of things you have not thought of in a long time, just kind of tickling the back of your head, and you go, oh, this is going to be a lot of bad memories and bad thoughts, stuff that you have not thought about in a long time. And she kind of kicks over the little cone, and she looks at Wyrd and says, yeah, you too. And then, kind of waits for you guys to walk up, grabs hold of the door handle, and then the door, the handle turns, the door opens, and suddenly, boom, you guys are gone. Just the place falls away, and suddenly you have visions of, for Songbird and Wyrd, this is very, very disconcerting because you're first person view, not in your own body. Songbird, you don't ever remember being this short. But Atratus, you recognize you're 12, 11. And it's this really great memory. It's vacation. You guys see Gabe, both Songbird and Wyrd. You're like, oh, hey, it's Gabe, but he's 12. Because remember, they're twins.
Oh, yeah, 12. That's the interesting part.
Yeah. And, wow, they really look like twins when you put them right next to each other like this. And you can feel the connection there. There's somebody who looks vaguely like Atratus and Gabe, but older, mom, okay, sure. And then, okay, there's dad. And there, I don't know, what was vacation like, Atratus? Was that?
I was picturing this as just fun times at the beach. You have kids playing in the sand and the parents are there, and it's a very good memory.
Yeah, that is kind of what I was thinking too. And so, Gabe is like, come on, let's race up and down the beach. Come on. And I'm pretty sure Atratus is like, nah, I'm cool, thanks. That is the dichotomy that you have with those twins. And mom and dad are there sitting talking, and you hear a little comment from mom. And it's this really sunny day. Like, the beach is terrific, and for whatever reason, it feels like it's just them. Like, there's other people, you can see them, but they don't feel like they're encroaching. They're not close and stuff like that. And then Atratus just overhears, we'll just get a second opinion from another doctor, says mom. And all of a sudden, clouds move in over the beach. It gets stormy. It gets rough. And all of a sudden, Gabe, who previously was just full of energy and stuff like that, is now manic levels. Right? Come on. We got to do something. Let's go. And just is like absolutely cannot sit around. He can't be here. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to go do something. And then he just kind of pauses.
He was trying to protect you, wasn't he?
I guess.
And then a moment later, like, the clouds, cover over the sun, and we have like the apocalypse level storm, right? It's just really, really dark. And you are no longer at the beach. You're sitting in a very uncomfortable, like, old church. There's a casket up at the end. You look down, and Atratus is in black dress. Gabe is sitting there, and they're both clutching hands. As person after person, faceless people just walk by. It's okay. It'll be better. It's all right. He's at peace now. It's okay. It's fine. You'll be okay. Your mom loves you. Your dad loved you. Loved. Past tense. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is fun, sure. And like the memory shifts again. And whoops.
Didn't you forget that part?
Say that again?
Said, I managed to forget that part.
You forgot your parents?
No, more just,
The pain?
Funeral.
yeah, just pushed that away.
It's like everybody's slapping you in the face with it.
Yeah.
And then jump forward as the funeral kind of falls away and picks up at high school graduation. Mom is there looking super proud. I love my babies. Come here. And just, two hugs. And, Atratus is about level with mom. Gabe is up here. And, I love you, both of you. Oh, you're going to college. I'm so proud of you guys. Oh, I wish your dad was here. It's okay. You guys have done this. I'm so proud of you. And, like, as she's saying that, and, like, probably there's a beat. And then suddenly you are in Atratus' dorm room. And there's a text and just little note across it. And it's just a text from Gabe. It says, Mom's in the hospital. There was an accident. I'm coming to pick you up. It'll be okay. And then suddenly, boom, you're in the hospital as Gabe and Atratus are sitting there. Gabe and Emily are sitting there in a little hospital waiting room holding hands as a faceless doctor sits there and says, it was painless. It's fine. She went calmly. She had no pain. It was fine. Don't worry about it. She's okay. She's in a better place now. Are you guys going to be okay? Gibbs, yeah, we're good. We're in college, so we got dorms, we got a place to stay. We live in town. We'll be okay. Yeah, don't worry. I've got I can make the funeral plans. No big deal. I got it. Hand pat on Emily, and then suddenly back in Atratus' different dorm room. There's a text. Well, actually, at this point, post-grad, possibly an apartment at this point. And
We have apartments at this point, yeah.
And on the phone call, hi, is this Emily Miller? Yeah, this is Fire Marshal so-and-so. Been an accident. And there is this, like, palpable physical emptiness, like, as, like, Atratus kind of reaches for a hand that is not there. And then suddenly, you guys are there with little Peter Pan Wyrd, Valkyrie, Songbird, and normal Atratus standing in this burnt out living room. Just charred and smoked. There's a twisted leftover of a TV. Books just are burnt to little chunks of, nothingness. And it's just absolutely just charred out and just ripped apart. And everything physical, everything that, was there, it just looks absolutely ruined. And you are suddenly there. Atratus has a mop in her hands. Songbird, you've got a mop bucket.
So,
Fuck.
You okay?
no, but kinda gotta be, right?
No, you don't have to.
Well, let's, I guess, get to cleaning.
And there's suddenly other Atratus who is like in almost video game style, like bad 80s movie, like hologram, right? Who kind of leans in and says, yes, use your hands. That's brilliant. And then is suddenly gone.
Okay.
Magic, my dear.
So,
Sorry. I legit got choked up during that whole thing,
Oh.
so use your magic.
do I have magic that can clean?
That is a good question.
Does it
Songbird
matter?
could yeet it all into
Right.
space.
No, like, I know there are matter spells that could, like, get rid of it, but I don't have. I could, like,
But you
state
can also do quick and
change.
dirty stuff.
I'm trying to figure out if in the purview of what I have in matter is any of those.
Yes. Not
Remove.
with matter 2, but with matter 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Do you need to get rid of it?
I mean, I need to fix it.
I think it's more like you need to come to terms with it. I
Oh, yeah,
haven't
but-
done a lot of, navel gazing. But it seems to me that this is part of what makes you you.
The burned out husk of my dead brother's house.
That memory, those memories formed who you are.
I mean, yeah,
Burying them doesn't make them go away, it makes them fester, right? I mean, I'm not an expert on soul delving. Songbird has way more experience than any of us, I think.
he's done it once.
I'm going to start walking
Mhm.
around, and like tracing my fingers over some like burnt furniture and broken shards of stuff. And I'm going to start casting geomancy.
Okay, go ahead. Bear in mind, you do have to deal with paradox. And the one thing I will mention to Ash as he's doing that is that you can decide if you have matter 3 or not. If Atratus has matter 3 or not. Everything's
very, even more so Imagos driven. Okay. All right, I'm gonna.
And while he casts that, I'll wait for him to cast. We'll jump back over to Mammon here for a second. That'll give you guys also a minute to figure out, okay, soul stuff, how does this all work?
Well, to be fair, Mammon is waiting to call.
Oh, yes, that's true. Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
This is what happens. I hit my hour and a half, and all of a sudden the brain starts to lose cohesion.
All right. So I need to overreach 2 instant duration and scale.
Just want to say, be very careful about introducing paradox into Atratus' soul.
Sure.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
I'm using my tool and my shadow name. And the idea is to invoke resonance keywords of like peace and acceptance.
Okay. I dig it. So roll that. Oh, wow. 10. Of course, this is Songbird rolling, so.
It'll be 1, maybe. And it'll be a chance die paradox,
yes.
if you want to do that.
We good? Or 5.
Hey, look at that.
Hell yeah.
I love this.
Okay.
Feast or famine.
So is there something you want to, what would you like to select? As a reminder, bonus step, reach, condition, all mana, ignore, withstand.
I'll take a condition.
You have +2 to craft.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So you essentially grab some pieces of Atratus' soul and start adjusting and
just
right,
smidging them a little bit.
Yeah, you have a very small lever here. We are not moving worlds, but yeah, just start to nudge some things, and to everyone's eyes, some of the stuff that as Songbird is kind of moving starts to kind of fix itself up. So stuff starts to knit back together. Scorch marks start to like dim, whatever, they go away. So it likes things are starting to repair themselves a little bit.
Okay. I want to look around some.
Okay. Trying to like manipulating the stuff or like explore?
Like exploring.
Okay.
Because I didn't really come here. So I want to see what my soul has here.
Gotcha. So yeah, as you kind of look around, like within the room, you've got the couch and the TV, and like there's no roll required. You recognize this is not Gabe's house. It's not Gabe's room or anything like that. But there's little bits and pieces here, like the living room. This is like that one house that you had, but that couch you didn't have until college. And then you kind of make your way upstairs, and you have first bedroom when you were a little later, a mirror of that same bedroom, but when you were a few years older and you tore down all the My Little Pony posters. And then next room over is, the dorm that you had and the next room, and it's just all these bedrooms that you've had and stuff like that, all up until you do not find the Songbird, the Puck building bedroom. These are past bedrooms. And then and then you look, and there's a master bedroom, and it's like your parents' bedroom from like when you were a kid, the one like you used to run into when you were scared, the storm, and you snuck into and stuff like that. Not quite memory palace, but lots of big, distinct memory places just upstairs. Come back downstairs, and the books. Some of them are books you recognize. Oh yeah, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Yep, they're all here. And then
nerd,
right? Oh yes, what a surprise! And then there's one labeled third grade crushes. And then there's another one that's right, and like all the the spines are burnt and stuff like that. But there's other ones that dreams of being a marine biologist, and then screw that, Indiana Jones is badass right next to it. Variety of stuff like that. So it's this weird amalgamation of memories and literal memories, and then anthologies of memories.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of stuff that like you have there's a moment as you're looking at a lot of it where you have the whiff of like dust from an attic. And like, I don't know if Atratus has ever been up into a dusty old attic,
Definitely.
But it's like, oh, I know this, or
this is the feeling of things that have been locked away and forgotten.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this is not Gabe's house. This is mine. I'm going to say that I have Matter 3. I'm going to attempt to use something like Wind Strike. I'm going to roll for Wind Strike, but I don't want to damage things. I want to literally just like blow the ash and smoke off of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I dig that. If you want to look to the left of that, there is a spell for repairing things, just FYI.
Which one?
Negrito and Albedo.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
It's like, we can blow the dust off. I kind of dig that, but there's literally a repair spell. Either way.
Yeah, I was thinking of cleaning, basically. But yeah, that one probably works better.
Yep.
So
yeah, because lower stuff you can like make stuff hardier. This is the spell that actually fixes things.
Reach doesn't matter because I have infinite,
you
right?
have infinite reach.
In space.
I don't know. She's got like 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, it's plenty of space. I need to increase. Well, again, reach doesn't matter. I can increase scale and get the whole thing, right? Okay, so no potency, no duration. Counter as I can use 2 for a high speech, and what other tool?
In your soul, you have unlimited number of like representational tools. But yeah, high speech. I don't think your shadow name would really apply. Not as Ghost Whisperer Atratus.
No.
That said,
+2 for her soul.
Yeah, I was going to say
Is it environmental yantra?
Yep, and technically you are still in your domain.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm in the domain, so that's
another 2.
So
9 dice.
Yep.
9.
Cool.
One success.
All that matters, right? So what does Atratus's version of repairing things look like and restoring things back? Are they just suddenly boom they are, or is it
No, it's like the opposite of decaying. like where they have been burned, they sort of grow back into place
Pull back
from
up.
the
like mushrooms growing in fast motion.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, just everything like, and rewind.
yeah, pretty much like putting it on rewind and watching it undo what was done.
Very cool. And so, yeah, around the room, everything just starts to knit back up. Songbird, you were able to read that third grade crushes, spine over there and stuff like that. And stuff just starts to fix up. And the TV starts playing, and you can see that beach scene playing. But you're seeing the real beach scene. You see there was a huge crowd. There was a ton of stuff. A bunch of people running around. Gabe was dodging through people laying out on, blankets and stuff like that. You see the real memory, not the what I remember memory. And hologram Atratus kind of shows up, kind of looks around and like starts to become more,
like actually show up,
right? Actually
hologram.
Real, and goes, well, that was pretty quick. And she grabs the mop where it's in, picks up the bucket, and I'll take these. You're good now, right? And boom.
Bye. Okay. So that's, I guess
Do you
this is
feel any different?
No. I mean, not immediately, but
like as you say that, like literally other Atratus kind of pokes, like leans over just from a space in space and just like shoulders in head going, are we picking up the lesson or do we need to talk more? Because I got more shit for you to clean up if necessary.
I think we're good.
Okay, because I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about what you think, what you remember, what you feel. Like, you can come back. I will happily give you more chores, and next time I won't let you use magic. And we'll just have a whole Cinderella. I will straight up evil stepmother your ass if I need to.
No, I think I'm good. I think I will probably come back here by myself at some point to sort of
have a little heart to heart. We can have a sit down. That'll be terrific. I'll set out coffee and we'll the good shit, not that stuff Songbird keeps bringing. Love you, babe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would like to come back and explore this when I'm by myself and can have time to dig through personal memories by myself.
Sure.
But
that seems fair.
Yeah. I think for the moment, I'm a bit better.
You have 3 matter now.
Okay.
So do you basically shoot everybody out and get like go everybody go wake up? Or you gonna poke around a little bit more while you're here?
Show me your matter rotes.
Yeah, let's go look at those spells. I want to make sure they're not broken anymore.
Okay. Do we necessarily want to go into that? Because I'll be honest, I wasn't prepared for this.
We can jump back.
But I mean, I will happily say you guys decide, Atratus takes a minute to like give you guys a tour through, hey, this is what death and matter looks like, which one...
And I'll need the death part, no thank you.
One half of this, super cool, look at all this stuff doing weird things.
Like, I'm interested in her vision of death, because we share that arcanum.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But different imagos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my vision of death is very...
Well, so we've got half an hour left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's jump back to John and we can decide on this later.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And I mean, like,
but I
you
definitely
guys
want to do some scrutinizing while we're in here.
Right. And the main thing is because he's trying to text weird. The main reason I bring it up is, as you can see, getting into each other's souls, not a big deal. Like it is something you can do fairly easily. So, so we're good on like, okay, we can come back later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
So, just because I love the drama of, hey, your soul knows what's going on. Well, actually, no, this is not weird soul. Yeah. So you guys kind of pop out.
I expect that'll be a very different experience.
Oh, yeah. Atratus, you immediately like just looking around, you're like, okay, yeah, this feels way better. Like
You get lifted.
Yeah, the big lift off of your shoulders kind of thing. Everybody go ahead and take an arcane beat, because hey, we went and explored somebody's soul. And Atratus will take the... Hang on, but I looked at this condition before. There it is. Triumphant. No, that's not the one. Shoot. Yes, steadfast. Sorry, wrong one. When you have failed a roll, you may choose to resolve this condition to instead treat it as treat the action as if you rolled a single success. The roll is a chance die. You can choose to resolve the condition and roll a single regular die instead.
Okay,
that's cool.
It is one of the craziest things. That said, it does not give a beat when you resolve it because
you get your success on your roll.
Yeah. And so as you guys are like coming out of your various meditation poses, I love the idea. Songbird was like doing yoga poses, but I have a feeling like Wyrd was just like sitting on the floor.
I'm just like rolling a coin between my knuckles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did that.
I like you made it like half a knuckle and then you're just like, yep.
Wyrd, you get a text from John.
No, I was calling.
Oh, calling. That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
From who?
Oh,
Mammon?
Yes.
Mammon. Hello. Well,
Hey,
is it Mammon or did you call from a burner?
It's a burner.
It called from a burner.
Okay.
Oh, the prop.
Hey,
So extra.
So I'm driving back home from the Athenaeum, and I'm kind of freaking out right now.
What's going on?
You remember what Julia said about how he's got connections like everywhere?
Yeah.
I think the Athenaeum's in on it. Like, so I told Oceans, and she seemed all concerned at first, but then she just fucking bounced, yo. Like, she was gone. And I kept asking, hey, where's Oceans? What's going on with Oceans? I haven't seen Oceans in a while. Nobody knows where she is. And then, like, fucking, there was some, like, weird mummy demon thing. I think he said his name was Grigori. And it was just, like, watching us, right? And then so, like, Hiza just, like, teleports us back to the Athenaeum. And then he, like, tried to take me down to a cell, dude. Like, it was weird. So I told him, I'm not all about this. I'm out. So I left. I'm on my way back to the apartment. But hey, you guys got to be careful with that Athenaeum. Like, for real. Some shit's going down there. Like, it's weird. It's creepy.
Interesting theory.
I'm trying to remember what I know. Do I know that Graves was at your apartment?
No.
Okay.
I thought,
Nope.
Yeah.
No, they
All
just
we
told
were
us
told
that
was
your
that something
memories had
fucky
been
was
messed
up with Mammon.
So,
okay.
do you have wards or some kind of security at your apartment, or?
I have a door with a lock on it. Is that enough?
No. Mammon.
But listen, for real, like, if he's already been in once, okay, and none of us can make a ward that'll keep him out. So I figure I'm just gonna go home.
Take that as a fucking challenge.
See what happens.
Okay.
Good talk. Bye. Because I'm home now.
Okay.
We don't know where he lives either, so
No.
Nope.
But we can find it easy enough.
Yeah.
Over an hour.
Okay.
So he's freaking out and he thinks the Athenaeum is in some kind of conspiracy against him.
great.
Why?
Not entirely
Great.
what I said, but close enough.
My interpretation of it.
Sure.
And something happened
This
in
is
his
becoming a
apartment,
very familiar feeling
and he's just
every time I think about Mammon.
going home.
So, why does he think the...
All right, shoes on, Katie. So let's go.
Yeah.
To the mystery machine.
I know you guys just were visiting a soul, but we got to go move our legs now. Over at while you guys are getting ready and figure out. Mammon is heading into his apartment and then is...
Yes. So once I get upstairs into my apartment, I am... I don't know if you guys see, but I have this nifty spell template up.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wondering what this was been for a while now.
I have heard, I being Mammon, of course, so many times throughout the day that, well, maybe Beck really is dead. Maybe you're just seeing exactly what you want to see, right? So I am going to attempt to scry on Beck again. But this time I am going to try to be at least as centered as I can be right now. What with everything going on, and with an open mind to whatever I see is whatever I see, as opposed to going in with expectations.
Cool. Do me a favor, and before you roll that, resolve plus composure to kind of meditate and center yourself.
Okay. You pull my sheet up. You said resolve plus composure.
Affirmative.
Oh, shit.
Songbird would suggest using a Prime 1 spell called Discern Lies.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or Pierce Deception, sorry, not Discern Lies.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this first.
Please.
4 successes.
Meditative
Oh, yeah,
as
dude.
hell. I love that he's got a 4 composure.
4 composure, that's
Yes.
baller.
Well, also my virtue is patience. Although I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, so in the interest of saving time, is this going to be enough, or do I need to cast that spell as well?
Because you can take some time to cast it, and it is a 1-dot spell. I'm not stressed about it.
No, what I meant was the prime one.
Right.
That,
like I said, we're going to hand wave the Pierce Deception.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and roll for my my casting. That is going to be a 8 dice, correct?
Correct. There you
3
go.
successes, and I don't believe it is in.
No, Scry is not a praxis because it's one that I keep thinking you should have had as a praxis. But that's
And
fine.
with as much as I've used it, you would think so.
Yep. Hi, Sarah. Bye, Sarah. Real quick, Craig, what are you queuing up there?
Lucky number.
Okay, gotcha.
To call me back.
That's what I figured. Well, to figure out your address, which I don't know will necessarily work.
No, but some random phone, like he's got, I don't know, a chair made out of burner phones. One of them's going to start ringing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I mean, you could just call me back on the
Call
number
the
I
number
just
he
called
just
you from.
called you on.
He does not throw phones away quite as often as you. Okay, but
You
that's fine.
just chuck him out the window driving down the street.
So, Mammon meditates, prepares himself to pierce deception. He says, fuck this. I'm not going to deal with lies. I don't know what lies they are. And if I remember correctly, you know immediately if it is a lie. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
But can you literally see through it, like the truth?
Yeah, and there's a reach for
getting
just sensing falsehoods. You get some symbolic sense of what the actual truth is.
Gotcha. Okay. So yes, you scry on Beck, and the window opens, and you see this like blackness, this darkness in your head. Because imagine you're not doing the big window thing. You're just, sitting there meditating, cast a spell, and just it's blackness. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine. That's better than seeing the waitress, maybe, or flying on the plane. Yes.
Chris, I want to point out real quick that when your wife looked at us, she shook her head like fucking nerds and then walked into the back.
You're sitting there meditating, looking at this blackness, trying to understand what it is, and you feel your eyes begin to adjust, metaphorically speaking. And you are looking down at, dressed in kind of nice clothes, a corpse.
I'm not a doctor, but that sounds bad. Okay, so Mammon comes back out of it.
Sure.
And I quickly stand up, and I'm breathing heavy at this point because everything's crashing down, right?
Sure.
I'm nervously pacing back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and go into my closet.
Sure.
And I'm going to grab my mask, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my gun. And I'm really having a hard time with this, right? Breathing heavy, slapping a lamp off a table. I go into the bathroom and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and all I can think of is, that's him. That's the guy that killed Beck. And I still don't have the memories of doing it other than the ones that Cynthia showed me. But somewhere deep down, I know it to be true. Like, after what I saw, it's really the only thing that makes sense. I scream out in anguish and sadness, and I just start punching the shit out of the mirror, slicing my hand pretty deep. Kind of run my hands over my face. What?
Take a point of lethal.
Okay. Kind of hold my my head, and I still have that point of lethal from last time. Has it been long enough?
Yeah. 2 days. No, so you have 2 points of lethal.
I have 2 points of lethal. I kind of hold my face in my hands for a second and look back up, and then I stop. And I catch my breath for a second, and I realize something. I'm looking at the face in the mirror, and it's got the blood from my hand on it. It's a mask. It's effectively a mask. And then I look at the mask I have in my hand, and I realize I didn't do anything. Todd didn't do anything. All of the bad shit that I have ever done in my life, I did as Mammon. Mammon killed Beck. Todd didn't do anything. Mammon robbed those banks. Todd's never robbed a bank in his life. He owns a penetration testing company. He wouldn't do that. But Mammon would. So I am going to go ahead and realize that the universe has given Mammon access to immense potential power. If he just has the strength to reach out and grab it. But Todd doesn't have that strength. Todd's just a guy that runs a penetration company, but Mammon has that strength. And in return for this immense power, the universe demands dedication to it. So Todd has decided that he's not going to be Todd anymore. He is Mammon. He's not Todd being Mammon. He is Mammon who sometimes is Todd. And Mammon goes ahead and puts his mask on and then turns around and says to the Grigoris that are most assuredly there, "All right, I know you're watching me. Let's do this."
And with that, there's like this subtle little pop, and Mr. Graves leans his head around from the side of the bathroom. All right. You ever really given a look at that pinky ring of yours?
Not really.
What's on there?
It's a sigil for the the order I was a member of.
Yeah, but what's actually on there? And I don't know if John remembers.
Oh God, what did I say it was?
It's on the back of the $1 bill.
Oh, you fucking idiot.
Oh my god.
When it the eye
Oh,
over the
well,
pyramid?
it was an eye, but it wasn't the all-seeing eye. It was an eye with something as the iris. I can't. What did I messaged it to you? What did I say?
You'd
It
have to
was?
scroll. But the main thing being, it's an eye. And Mr. Graves kind of looks down and says,
Oh.
"Well, Mammon, I'd like to welcome you to the Panopticon, where we know all, see all knowledge is ours. And we won't keep secrets from you. And it's okay." As he kind of reaches down and like pats your shoulder and says, "You didn't kill Beck. You pulled the trigger and she was going to die. But those bastards that work for the Chancellor, the Ministry of Mammon, killed Beck. Mammon killed Beck, but not you. So let's go have a talk. Let's talk about what the Lady of Masks, the Lady of Mirrors can do for you, and what you can do for her." And kind of helps Mammon up and kind of pulls a handkerchief out of his hand and kind of just calmly wraps your hand. "We'll get that looked at too. Come on, buddy." And we cut back over to Wyrd, calling Mammon back.
Yep.
Okay.
So while all that's been going on, various phones in Mammon's apartment have been ringing.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
Six. Jesus.
And dial a random number. Phone rings over there. I'm going to take
And I'm like, take Atratus' phone, dial a random number. Take Songbird's phone, dial a random number.
wild guess that Mammon doesn't pick up.
Probably not.
Cool. And okay, we're not going till 8. We'll go to 7:45.
Yeah.
And with
Bastard.
that, and this is so perfectly timed because we're going to have to deal with the fallout on the next episode, and this is going to be a mess. So with that, guys, John is stepping away from the Chronicle for a little while, potentially for a long while. We're not quite sure. We're going to figure some stuff out. You will not see him on the live streams, but we do have plans. Mammon is not completely done. We're going to do some cool little YouTube videos to kind of talk about the lay of the land, what is going on in the Mage universe in kind of an in-character thing, as Mammon learns from Mr. Graves and joins the Seers of the Panopticon. So this is our farewell to...
It's blood on sight.
Oh yeah, trust me, this is going to be some good shit. I'm looking forward to this. I've mentioned it privately. The rest of the Cabal knew that John was going to be leaving, but didn't know how.
This is not where I saw it going.
Yeah. Don't worry. Mammon is still going to be around to cause trouble, and sometimes maybe we'll be able to get John in on the game. Other times it'll just be me doing my best John impression. So a lot of bullshit.
It's not too hard to do. Just say fuck between every word.
And so that is the end of tonight's episode. You guys are watching this on Thursday. Maybe not. You might be watching it sometime later. But if you're watching this on Thursday, we will be playing live on twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. And we will be doing that for Friday night.
Songbird and Wyrd episode.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it will be a Songbird and Wyrd episode because Atratus Ash will be busy traveling. And then the week after that, we will have Songbird and...
We'll be together.
Yeah.
We'll be together.
I'm very curious. I'm going to see... We might see if we can cram them together in one little screen.
What else are we going to do?
Yeah.
You have 2 webcams?
I don't know. We'll figure
What do
something.
you do?
I just have one.
So, nonetheless,
We'll talk.
We'll figure something out, but that'll be the week after. It's all right. Me and Craig are still here. We're not going anywhere. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. After having already seen people's reactions on episode 33, Trigger Pull, this is some good stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And John, thank you for joining us. It has been a blast to be your storyteller. And
For sure,
like
absolutely.
I said, we will we will see some more of John and Mammon in the future. So
Thanks for having me.
all right. Cool, guys. Well, until next time.
Stay lucky.
Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode of Occultists Anonymous, the long one, which actually, after having edited it, not too much longer than our normal videos. But I do hope this was enjoyable. I hope you had. I hope you are as irritated as the players are. They knew that this was coming, but not exactly how. And so, yeah, I hope you guys felt that too. As for the future, well, we're gonna have some fallout to deal with, and we'll see how that goes. And there's more things to do. This is Mage after all. We're all about some mysteries and searching for things. And I'll be honest, Atratus still hasn't found a chance to get her rare grimoire. I think Wyrd looked for that too, way back in like episode 1 or 2. Remember the tarot reading? Yeah, we're still getting there. Anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. As always, come by Discord and join our conversation. We want to build a cool community there for Mage players. Even if you're kind of so-so about the show, it's cool. Come by, still chat with us. We have some folks who are fairly open in their criticism of the show, which I appreciate because it's positive stuff. How the show could be better, or I wouldn't have run it that way. As long as you're a positive member of the community, you're welcome. Come by. Anyways, you can do that. Like and subscribe. That kind of stuff helps us spread the show out to more people, so we have the cycle continues, right? And then, of course, if you want to support us monetarily, you can come by Patreon, patreon.com/occultistanonymous, and you can decide to pledge and follow us there. We do have that $10 Sleepwalker tier, so you do have access to the notes that we've kind of generated and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. You can get an insight into what people are thinking, and you can read a lot of Chris's very out of character comments on some of the different people that we have met. All right, guys, this one ran a little bit long. I'm sorry, but I will see you guys maybe tonight. Well, Friday night for the live stream. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.